Let me set the stage for you. I want you to imagine performing in front of 10,000 people. And as soon as you close out your last song, Smokey Robinson goes into his set and he's opening up. And this is in front of 12,000 people off the waterfront in the city of Detroit. Then I want you to imagine performing in front of 14,000 people at a music festival. And then as you come off the stage, you have Natalie Cole, the Natalie Cole, look you in your face and say, baby, that was awesome. Opening up for Jodeci before Jodeci was Jodeci. Opening up for Joe before Joe was Joe, and Glenn Jones, and I can go on and on and on. That was my life in the mid to late 80s. Then I started promoting concerts, Gladys Knight, R. Kelly, started throwing pajama jammy jams with my celebrity and all of this type of stuff. So I want you to imagine all of that. And then a short time after that, being locked up for 3.5 years. The feeling of having yourself being respected and loved and admired by friends and family and the broader community who really thought you were going to be the next up-and-coming R&B star. And then just like that, getting mixed up with the wrong people, you end up in federal penitentiary. That was my first big challenge that kind of shaped who and what I am. So at that time, the artist known as B. Silky died, but then going into incarceration, Brother Bedford was born. And so that's where I began to sharpen my chops and study. I turned that period into my college university. In fact, those were my very words when I first went in. I said, this 3.5 years, I'm not gonna sit here and pout. I say people get a degree in 4 years when they go to college, so I'm gonna take this 3.5 years and I'm gonna study and develop myself. And even though I was doing some entrepreneurial things in the entertainment space, this is where it got serious for me, and I began to study and people began to give me books. And my love and passion for helping Black people to discover their entrepreneurial greatness, this is where it was born. And so after that time, that 3.5 years, I hit the streets running. I came out and started investing in real estate and building business, and people started asking me questions. Well, how are you doing this, Brother Bedford? Flipping these houses and doing all of these things. And that's how my consulting and advising career was birthed. Because now as I started practicing entrepreneurship and doing things of significance, people started asking me questions and I started advising and consulting. Then of course the transition happened from the real estate space into the online space, and I started interviewing successful Black millionaires because I figured if people wanted to hear from me, I know they would love to hear from Black millionaires who've been there and done that. And so my very first interview was with Dr. George C. Frazier. I'd called down to his office in Cleveland, Ohio, and the young lady was there, and she said, I don't think Dr. Frazier would be interested in giving an interview, because I had this bright idea that people wanted to hear from everyone. So I started an ebook series called Conversations with Black Millionaires. And so Dr. Frazier was my first interview. And she said he wouldn't be interested, but 5 minutes after I got off the phone with her, after she deflated my ego, after I realized that this stuff that I'm trying to do isn't working to the level that I thought it would work, Dr. Frazier called me. I could hear airport noise in the back. And he said, young man, this is Dr. Frazier, and I hear you want to interview me. And I said, yes, sir, Dr. Frazier, I want to interview you, but I can't do it like this. So we set up the arrangements where we used a free conference call system, and I interviewed him over the phone. And then that interview was a success. And then I interviewed Les Brown, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, Kathy Hughes, and others. Now, I really want to make sure that you understand this. So even though I was growing myself as an entrepreneur, I became a student to those who were already successful. And I started taking their knowledge, their wisdom, their expertise, and making it my own. And that's when Conversations with Black Millionaires was born, and that's when this consulting and advising business was born.